What's up, everybody? We're back with Mobility Day 3. So first I want to go through those spinal planes of motion. Okay, so here's flexion and extension. Okay, got some side bend going on, some lateral flexion. And then you've got rotation. So those are the things that we're going to be trying to hit today. So our first exercise is going to be a side plank. Okay, I want you to either start off your elbow and your knee, like demonstrated here. Going to hold for 10 seconds. Or we can do the second variant here, which is going to be off elbow and feet. But when you do it this way, I want you to put your front leg, the top leg in front. And you'll see why here in a second, because we can make this version even more advanced. We'll go 10 seconds. And then we won't even get out of tension. We'll go straight into a front plank. Hold that for a few seconds. Then you'll see as I rotate over to the other side, now the top leg is in front once again, facing the other direction. Okay, so we hold it for 10 seconds, and rotate to the front. So what level of stability you're on is really going to determine what you end up doing here. Some of you may start off the knees, but we'll just see how this all goes. All right, so the next exercise is going to be bird dogs. Very straightforward. You're going to do opposite arm and opposite leg, but try to keep the arm and the leg straight from the torso. Try not to overextend too much. If you need to, you can get an assist. You can use a yoga block or a furniture slider. And you can place those on your low back as a feedback tool to make sure you're not rotating too much, because the whole idea behind this drill is anti-rotation. So stabilizing against that rotation, and having something back there as a feedback tool that you can focus on will make sure that you're doing the exercise completely. So level 1 would have the yoga block, kind of how I have it now. You can tilt it up. That's going to be a little more difficult. I could tilt it upright, which would be even harder. So I'm going to demonstrate a good rep here, okay, trying to really search for that anti-rotation, and then I'll show you what happens when you over-rotate. So that block's going to fall off. It's a great feedback cue. All right, so the next exercise, we're going to do some beast lifts here. So we're in that beast position and just alternating. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Again, you can use that yoga block as a feedback tool. Now, if you can hold it for 10 seconds, that would be great. But if you want to, we can just do 10 reps instead. All right, so the next one's going to be dead bugs. And I like using that furniture slider if you've already got handy, put it under your low back. It'll give you something to press your back into to get a little reflexive core activation. Okay? So just like the bird dogs, I'm going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. If you can't do that without your back coming off the ground, you can take the furniture slider out or a towel or whatever you've got back there as a feedback tool. You can see this, we don't want that overextension in that spine like I'm doing right now. Okay, so you can take that out. Put your hands back there instead. That'll give you something to reflexively press into. And then you could just do the legs, which makes it just a little easier. But I want you to really focus on keeping that core tight. Okay, so the next one's going to be a reverse Nordic curl. All right, make sure your toes are curled underneath, like I've done here. And the whole idea is to stay straight with quad and the core. So you'll see I do a few reps here with what can be considered good form. And then I'll do one where I'm collapsing either in or into extension. So only go down as far as you can. We're going to do this in reps. This isn't going to be a hold. Just make sure you're holding good form, getting that all tight, and then lowering yourself down there. All right, next exercise is going to be shoulder taps. You don't need to be in a perfect plank in this position. We just want to be in like a middle tabletop position. If shoulder taps are too hard, you can go to elbow taps instead. And once again, if we want to, we can grab that reflex tool and make sure we're not shifting too much. So you'll notice that that makes you stay just a little stiffer in the midline. If we want to make it harder, we can go into a beast position. So you can do either or in that case. And I'll have reps listed for everything on the post. Alright, so now we're going to go into our bear knee taps. We're going to get in that bear position. And again, anti-rotation, okay? So, taking some time, loading that core and those shoulders up. Kind of connects with the thoracic stuff we did on day 2. And now we're going to go back into some side planks. So we're going to go into an oblique side plank. So instead of being stacked, we're going to take that top leg and we're going to shift it behind, and then we're going to be going only off the top leg. That'll put a little twist into your spine, get a little more oblique recruitment than a normal side plank. Again, hold for 10 seconds. Take it down. Pop up again. Hold for 10 seconds. Now we're going to go into a leg lift plank, sort of like a hollow rock. We're just not focused on the rock so much. More keeping that midline locked in and then just lifting up off the ground. If it's too hard to stay locked in here, you could just lift your legs and do reps instead, 10-second holds. But for this one, a 10-second hold would be preferable. If that's too hard, you could also go into a modified position like this one. Next, we are going to get into our side plank rotations. Okay, so now we're going to be into that side plank. Then we're going to add a little twist into it. Okay, we're just going to be shooting through the gap right there. And again, we don't have to hold for these. These ones are going to be more for reps. So you do 10 reps, switch over to the other side. Next exercise, last one. We're going to do beast crawls. So we're going to get in that beast position. We're going to crawl forward. Crawl back. Okay. If you got room, you can kind of do-si-do in a square. You can throw some side walks in between the front and back walks. Once again, anytime we're in that beast position or tabletop position, we can use our feedback tool for a little more stiffness there. So, make you move with a little more intention. Alright guys, that's it. I'll have rep schemes posted on the page.